Hello there. There's some guy kind of being, he's just a bicyclist. Anyways, we're out again tonight in my beautiful Bode Class 4 skies to start out Galaxy season, and we will be imaging M81 or Bodes Galaxy. I hope I got that Messier number right, otherwise that would be kind of embarrassing. It's been quite a while since I've been able to get out and actually do some astrophotography. That, and I've had a few chances and I've been kind of lazy lately. But tonight we're out and we're gonna try and make a good go of it.
I figured for going over my equipment, I would start off with my power supply for this video. At the moment, this is the Mark 1B version of this after, well, I shorted the living crap out of it. After that happened, I took it all apart, replaced the faulty breaker that had been the problem. No, I wasn't just being irresponsible and not using breakers and fuses. The dead battery, and also added a separate fuse box for the 12 volt DC items and a plug for easy charging with a trickle charger, which has worked quite nicely. It uses an 800 watt inverter. In reality, it's more like no more than 200 watts. I would like to upgrade to a sine wave inverter one of these days for my laptop's sake, but, you know, bread.
Well, I'm just here enjoying the quite nice sunset. I can see Venus at this time of night. Remember to look at the damn camera. I'm new at this, and I do apologize for the awful hiss with this microphone. The only thing I could get is a super cheap wireless transmitter, and it's kind of crap. I'm hoping to get a new one soon, but yeah. You can see Venus this evening. It's quite nice. But yeah, it's just a waiting game until I can see Polaris and get things started. Still waiting for the sun to go down. Anyways, so there are a few things that I would like to improve upon or try to improve upon tonight that I had problems with previously. One, my guiding is kind of all over the place. I would like to get that sorted out. I'm trying, well, to be honest, I haven't really tried anything this time. I'm just hoping it works better. Another thing is I would like to get my plate solving working a little bit better. It works, but it's always a little bit off target, and I have tried a few things that people have recommended online, like changing that setting in APT to, I forget, but it was a guiding setting or something. Changed that, didn't make a difference. In fact, it made it worse. So if anyone has any suggestions for that, please let me know. But it's not too bad. It's usually what I have to do is I plate solve, I slew to a target, it's off target, I do another plate solve, and then I slew again, and it goes on perfectly fine. So it's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit of an inconvenience, but we'll see how that goes. Well, I found that my plate solving actually worked perfectly today, so hopefully this continues for the rest of the night. Anyways, I'm just focusing with the Batinoff mask right now. And what you're looking at right now is Sirius, which you probably won't be able to see on this video. Now I'm gonna wait for it to get a little darker before we slew over to Bodes Galaxy. And I want to get this the other one. That's quite nice in that area. I don't remember the name or designation for it, but I'm going to get them both in the same shot. There's a third Galaxy, but I don't think it's going to fit in my frame because I'm using 800, my telescope's 800 millimeter focal length. And the camera sensor is, well, it's a Canon crop sensor. So into the night we go. Also, another small little makeshift fix I needed to do was the back of the Skywatcher 200? I'm blanking on the conversion between inches and millimeters right now, even though I said it 1,000 times before. Problem with this scope, or it's not so much a problem, but it's just a problem for how I image, is the back of the mirror is exposed, and I find that even if there's a little bit of light, even red light throughout an exposure, of course over a long exposure, enough of those photons get onto the mirror that it creates a bit of a gradient, usually of red light, usually from this thing. So, a little elegant fix, tinfoil taped to the back of the scope.
Bodes Galaxy, or M81, or NGC 3031, is a spiral galaxy around 12 million light years from our little blue speck. When looking towards that direction, around Ursa Major, you're looking out of the north side of our own galactic disk, north in relation to our galaxy's core. About half the size of the Milky Way, with an apparent magnitude of 6.9, it's a fairly bright object as far as galaxies outside of the local group go. Generally not visible to the naked eye, I live in a Bortle 4 area, and I think I was actually able to pick out M81 and M82 if I use that trick where you focus on an area just beside the object you want to be looking at, and it tends to brighten those objects. Interesting tip. However, that's not the only object for tonight. I'll also be trying to image M82 the Cigar Galaxy, residing in the M81 group. It has an apparent magnitude of 8.4. It also holds the title of being the closest starburst galaxy to our own. Sadly, since I have yet to remove my T4i's IR filter, I don't hold much hope for getting any of that tasty H-alpha data, but I have an idea for that later.
Okay, so I just had quite the treat right now. Is what must have been I didn't check, the Starlink satellites went overhead, and a train of satellites. I did see a few number of months ago, I think it was the first launch, when they were still really close together, but now they're quite far apart. But it's just cool living in a time where you get to see stuff like that. Also, I've got the telescope on Venus right now, taking some frames for doing some framey things. So we'll see how those turn. The seeing conditions aren't very good tonight, and it's pretty low to the horizon, so it's quite fuzzy, but won't be too much longer till I slew over to Bodes Galaxy. Alright, so we've been having some, and by we I mean you and I, because we're experiencing this together. But I've had some issues tonight, mainly with the guiding. At first, I framed everything up perfectly, right on Bode, got the other galaxy in there, went to do my calibration, but of course forgetting that calibrating the guiding doesn't work well at those declinations. So I slewed the scope over to the south, and I was still having some issues with the calibration. It said the star wasn't moving enough, so I changed what was it again? I looked it up while I was on my laptop, and I increased it, and that seemed to help. It failed the first time, the calibration, and then the third time, and then the fourth time it was looking really, really good. It was almost done. And then the telescope started pointing at a tree. I lost the guide star, and the calibration stopped. So I've moved it far away from the tree this time, and I'm calibrating again. It's currently doing the east steps. So hopefully once I get this done, I can finally slew back over to Bodes Galaxy, frame it up again, and start shooting. Now tonight I'm planning to do 100, fingers crossed, exposures at 180 seconds, which, considering that I find Bode's actually pretty bright, even at a 30-second exposure, I got a fairly decent image of it. So I'm sure 100 fingers crossed, exposures at 180 seconds will be brilliant.
I know that things around the world have been a bit crazy lately, and it was just starting to become serious at the time I was shooting this in March, at least in my area. But nevertheless, during this time when many people have had time to themselves, the creativity and ingenuity that I've seen from many people around the world doing all sorts of things. And that is something that really does give me hope for the future, and is just another thing to counter the tired old narrative that people are inherently lazy unless they are desperately trying to scrounge together enough to survive. Give people the means and they'll do something with it. Now, after having some issues getting things set up, things seem to be getting back on track.
Alrighty, so imaging has been going extremely well tonight. I've been very happy with how the Bodes Galaxy is looking. I did my Meridian flip not too long ago, and I would really love to get 100 exposures, but that will take me till almost 4 a.m., so I'm not sure. I'm going to go as late as I feel like, and that'll be good. Let me just show you the stretched. I apologize for the shaky camera. I've got a giant light thing on top of it, kind of hard to hold with one hand. That's an auto-stretched image. And my guide, I'm so happy with my guiding. This is the best guiding I've gotten so far. Yeah, it's a little bit kinky at the moment. Kinky? Why did I use the word kinky? But you know what I mean. So yeah, things are going extremely well tonight. I'm very happy. In the future, I would like to put Bandicam on this laptop so I can actually do screen captures rather than taking it with the camera. But for now, you'll just have to bear with me. Hello, and welcome to Astrophotography Cooking, because I am cold. So, it has been going very well tonight. I know I've said that a few times. Guiding is still very nice, but I am starting to get a bit chilly. I think it's 5 or 6 degrees out. Yeah, that should be enough. So I thought I would make something warm to warm me up.
And with the warm nourishment of the beef-flavored ramen with hot sauce, I went into the night as the temperatures continued to decrease. Hello and welcome to quite a significantly long time after my last night of shooting regarding Bodes Galaxy. So tonight here we are on iTelescope, where I will be using the telescope number 5 in New Mexico tonight. We can check the weather for the New Mexico site. One thing I certainly appreciate about this website is there is no shortage of data. There's few things I love more than just lots of data. Alrighty, we are imaging. You can see up here, it's pointing at M82. And on the left, you can see the images that we have coming through. In the end, I wasn't able to get much H-alpha data with the very limited amount of remote telescope time I had, and I had some trouble integrating that into the red channel from my DSLR RGB data, and given how little HA data I had, I decided to leave it out of the final image. Well, when I say final image, I mean, at this point I think I'm on Mark 8 for this project. Despite these problems, this is probably the image I'm most proud of in a technical sense. Everything with the acquisition just went fantastically that night. There are elements I want to improve on in the future for sure, such as removing the infrared filter on my camera to capture more of those wavelengths, and getting a hydrogen alpha filter for bringing out that nebulosity, because I would love to do what are called HARBs, where you just replace the R channel with the HA data in galaxies, and those nebulas inside galaxies like M101 really pop. But in the end, I'm very happy with this image, so I would like to show it to you now. I'm on Mark 8 for this project. Hi, Simba. Are you going to say something for the mic? No? No?